it's Katherine, and right now I am live in LA for the premiere of the live-action How to Train Your Dragon movie. In this movie, on the Isle of Berk, Vikings and dragons have been fierce enemies, but all that is challenged when Hiccup, the son of Berk's chief, befriends a deadly night fury dragon. So come on, let's go talk to the cast and crew. Who's your favorite dragon?
Ooh, it's gotta be one in the show. It's called the Skrill. That's probably my favorite one.
Toothless.
Yeah, Toothless. Toothless.
Night Fury. My Night Fury is common, but he's my favorite.
Toothless, of course.
I gotta say the Terrible Terrors are my favorite. I know I should say Toothless is my favorite, but the Terrible Terrors are so funny. They're the little tiny ones, just because they remind me of my cat. Like, they're so silly.
What are you guys most looking forward to today?
The test flight scene.
I'm ready to see how they adapt into the live action movies.
To see Toothless. The test drive scene.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to how all the dragons look in live action.
I'm most excited just for this film in a general sense. I've been with this film since the very beginning. Like, this hat is from the premiere of the second animated film, so I'm a hardcore fan. I'm so excited because I heard it's gonna be a shot-by-shot remake, so I'm excited to see if it's gonna be like that.
On the movie and just everything.
Oh, the movie is so wonderful. I know kids are gonna love it. Oh, that's probably Mason or Jerry coming in there. I'm imagining.
Sure.
They are marvelous.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited to see this one for sure. I've loved all of the other ones, of course, like the 3 animated ones. And
yeah, you'll love this. I know you're going to love this.
So what's the most surreal part of seeing your ideas and characters in real life?
The whole thing is completely surreal because the island is a real island where I grew up partly as a child, and the father is my father, so the whole thing is totally surreal. I mean, seeing these dragons come to life, just incredible. I mean, the dragon riding scenes really are the closest you ever get to ride on the back of your own dragon, and I know every kid wants that. Yes, so kids are going to love this. It's just amazing.
Welcome to Berk.
What's the most fun thing about doing a live version of this movie?
Probably that I wasn't just the voice anymore, having to be the full body, which wasn't just a body. My costume was very heavy, and there were long hours every day. And long days, so that was tough because also you're doing action. It was like 92 pounds, my costume. That's like carrying somebody around on your body most of the day. So that was intense. But also, by the way, that's also what helped me feel like stoic and vast. I was walking around like that. You felt so epically powerful, and you could play with that, or you could play completely against that. And
The How to Train Your Dragon franchise has such an iconic theme song, so how did you try and adapt it for this movie?
Finding a good answer for something when somebody comes along and says, we're going to do this again, but we're going to make it bigger and better. I mean, it's irresistible, especially if you're in Hollywood. So that's all that happened. It's basically just Dean called me and said, just don't fuck it up.
Definitely a good thing to do. So what makes scoring a live action movie different from an animated one?
It's weird. Timing is different. There's a lot of subtle differences, thousands of subtle differences, and I didn't really understand it myself until I did this movie. It's enough to give me a lot of sleepless nights. Let's put it that way. But it's about the flow and the swiftness of the way things move or don't move in live action versus animation. It's a certain fantasy that you can have in live action, in animation, and not in live action. But strangely enough, the animation version of this film was much more cinematic and less animation style than a lot of other movies. The live action is much more fantasy than usual, so it wasn't that far, but it was still tough enough, I must say.
Yeah, there's still a lot of differences, I'm sure, just even if they are subtle. What's one word to describe working on this film?
Magical. It was amazing, and it was amazing to shoot, and it was massive, You get to go to work every day with dragons. And it was just great. It's not often you go and watch a film that you've been part of, and you can forget you were part of it. It doesn't happen that often, you know.
So what was your favorite Viking accessory or part of your personal costume?
Okay, so my favourite thing were Gobber's his arm accoutrement. So every morning the guys would turn up and they'd knock on the trailer door and they'd say, "So what do you fancy today?" And they were like golf caddies but with arms. And I was like, okay, this one today, and it was like a hammer or an axe or a big beer mug was great. I like the fact we had a beer mug.
So is there one dragon that you would choose to ride around Berk all day if you could?
It's got to be Toothless. It's got to be Toothless.
Of course.
Always Toothless. The coolest, but also the sweetest.
Yes.
You know, he's sweetly protective as well as super cool.
Yes.
Although, no, actually, hang on. I do have a soft spot for the Light Fury.
Of course.
I love the Light Fury.
Yes. What can old and new fans of this franchise take away from this live action movie?
It's bloody amazing. It's wonderful, incredible characters, it's warm, it's uplifting, it's a great positive message for people, it's hilarious. I mean, it works on so many different grounds, you know.
If you could have a dragon in real life, what would be the first trick you would train it?
It would be to fly in it, definitely. I mean, that would be the thing. If it was big enough to help me fly.
Of course.
Just to fly in a way that would lull me to sleep. Because I like sleeping in taxis and Ubers. I love to sleep in an Uber, so maybe we could find a way that he could fly that would just lull me to sleep, and not with a fear that at any moment I could fall off to my death.
Right, just a relaxing, smooth, nice flight.
A relaxing flight, yeah.
What would I train it? That's a really interesting question. I suppose I would try and train it to let me ride on the back. That's got to be that, because that would be the ultimate. I think it would be the closest to flying, wouldn't it? But I think, as we all know, if we've watched all three movies, what you have to do at the end, because dragons are wild, is let them go. You have to let them go.
And if you could go to Berk for a day, what would be the first thing you'd want to see or do?
I'd want somewhere warm, because I've been to those kind of areas in the north of Scotland. My grandmother comes from North Uist, which is near Berk, and it's so freaking cold all the time, even in the summer. It's very beautiful, though.
If you could visit actual Berk and meet one of your characters in real life, who would it be?
Well, I'd visit actual Berk in real time.
I guess that's true.
All the time in real life.
I just want to sort of be somewhere warm that I could look out to sea. I think that's all.
I guess it would have to be Hiccup. I mean, I love Hiccup as a character. He's such a sweet character. He's so smart and so humble, but really, you know, he's the kind of hero we need. A kind of hero who solves problems with his creativity, you know, and his empathy. So I'd love to meet Hiccup. He's a sweet character.
That would be really... Yeah, of course, of course. I've had an amazing time at the premiere. Make sure to watch How to Train Your Dragon when it releases in theaters on June 13th, 2025. This is Katherine reporting for Kids First. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Kids First so you don't miss the latest reviews and interviews from me and my awesome team members. See you later. Bye!